Hello there. My name's David McGavick, and I'm participating in the Mindamp class, and this is one of my attempts to introduce myself. I live in Glenwood Springs, Colorado, where I'm a technology director for a small school district. We are a K-12 school district with about 5,000 students and about 400 staff, teachers. I have 6 people who work for me in my department, my technology department, and we support instructional technology, the networks, the servers, file servers, email servers, gradebook applications, all the different administrative softwares that get run on our network, as well as trying to support instructional technology, of which I wish we did more. Before I became the technology director, I worked here in the school district as a behavior consultant. I worked with teachers who worked with students who were especially challenging, kids who were distracted, moved a lot, sometimes caused difficulties in the classroom for learning for other students. My job was to sit with the teachers and listen to their story of how the student was getting along in their class, and talk to them about different ways that they could adapt their classroom to work better with the student. And we would come up with behavior plans and work with parents and social workers and counselors and special ed teachers and try to make the learning environment as appropriate to the kid as possible. I spent quite a bit of time with those children who were in those classrooms, talking to them about how they could adapt and be more successful in the classroom. So I kind of worked on both sides of the fence with the teacher and with the student to help them to learn to cooperate with one another. I really enjoyed that work, but sensed that it was coming to an end with budget cuts and that sort of thing. And I also had the opportunity to take on responsibilities with the technology department. I helped organize the first net days in our schools back in 1998 or so. And we wired all of the schools. That would be 11 schools in our school district. I started managing those physical bits and pieces of the network, and worked under the technology director for a time and learned a whole lot more about hardware and software and that sort of thing. Eventually, I was selected to be the technology director, partly because of my administrative training that I got, school administration training that I got. So I transitioned into technology, and I've been learning ever since. I became very interested in personal learning networks probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, as I became more and more disenchanted with the things that I was accomplishing with technology in the school district. I kind of took a step back and started asking myself what's most valuable for schools, and figured that we weren't doing all we could to integrate technology into our curriculum, and trying to find ways to do that. So some of my exploration came out of frustration and feeling like I'd hit a brick wall in helping teachers to integrate technology. And also I just wanted to do something creative with my time instead of banging my head against the same walls. So I started listening to a lot of podcasts and doing a lot of research on learning communities and digital and social technology. and came across Steve Hargadon and heard an interview of Howard Rheingold while I was listening to Steve Hargadon's podcast. And then I started following Howard, and before long I was tweeting with Howard, and was fortunate enough to collaborate with Howard on a critical thinking wiki, and I provided the link to that site onto the Mindamp site before. So I participated in the first Mindamp class and really enjoyed the interaction there and what I learned from the different people with their different perspectives in the Mindamp forums. I think Howard has done a really great job of guiding us and kind of being the conductor of the site and kind of helping us along to figure out how to use the tools and how to interact with one another, and kind of setting some ground rules, and that's been really helpful. I'm really interested in learning more about mind amplifiers. I've become very fascinated with the idea that computers, of technology in general, as being an extension of our brains, of our consciousness. Similar to the mind-body connection, I see mind-thought and mind tools as being extensions of our thinking, because they change the way we're thinking, whether it's talking about using a shovel or using a computer. The tool shapes us in some way, and we use the tool as an extension of who we are. So I'm really interested and fascinated with that idea, and I'd like to keep exploring it and exploring it with other people of the same interest. So I'm really happy to be here. Thanks.